How's it going, everybody? This is Beat the Bush. This is the Laresar L6 Nex robotic vacuum with Lidar. Full disclosure, the company supplied this product to me to do the review. As it will be apparent in this review, I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. For a Lidar self-emptying robotic vacuum, it's actually priced very, very low. Is this a good product? Should I spend my hard-earned money on this? This is more of an entry-level performance. It has Lidar and self-emptying and all that. No power lines, debris, or carpet tassels that are laying on the floor. You basically can't have a dirty floor with a bunch of random stuff on it. And if you want to put a physical barrier to keep it from falling off the stairs, it needs to be at least as tall as this robot. I feel like there are a lot of corner cases it could do better on. However, the basic functionality is there. You can initiate a vacuum session. It will cover most of the area. Although in my test, it still missed a center spot. If you turn this around, there is a mop in the back and you can remove this.
Take out the dust box.
That's another thing I want to talk about. All the voice that comes out of this robot has a thick Chinese accent. It's a female voice. Depends if you mind having that kind of voice in your robotic vacuum. You fill this thing up with water. It dispenses water on this mop so it gets it wet.
Reinstall the dust box.
I think it said something like reinstall the dust box. So this thing has a wet mop here and it's gonna drag it around the floor. It's even getting my desktop here a little moist. So if you have a hardwood floor that's just a little bit dusty, yeah, it can drag that around and kind of clean it up a bit. So it's really good for very, very light duty mopping. It does not really clean the bottom. So you're gonna have to go in here and pull this little piece off and then toss it in the laundry, replace it with a new one. One issue I have with this is the transition between a tiled floor and the carpet, because after it gets the mop all wet, it actually drags this wet mop thing all over the carpet and it gets it slightly moist. So after a mop and vacuum session, the area I'm standing on right now is actually a little bit moist. You have to leave it around and let it dry a bit, even though the intention, I'm sure, is not to try to mop your carpet. I've seen other robotic vacuums where it would actually lift the mop whenever it does the carpet. So that's an extra feature and it's gonna add to the cost. That's why this thing costs as low as it is. This is the first time I'm seeing this one where it got stuck on the wall here. There's no cable or anything, so this is a strange error for me. When I try to set up a perimeter with this bar, it actually tries to drive over it because it just cannot see it. It seems to respond much better to walls or anything that's at least as tall as this Lidar sensor. So when it came up on this thing, it tried to drive over it, and oftentimes it even got stuck. This was a problem point for it. It often drove up on this. It needs to be like 4 inches tall. When I tried to do this, I put a tall box and it responds a lot better. I also had a whole bunch of tripods sitting here. It would work around it, but it's a bit slower. Whenever it hits it, it would try to turn out and then do a big circle, and this takes a little bit of time, but eventually it does work its way through all these obstacles. But with all that said, if you know how to use it and you restrict it to a certain area so it doesn't explore all these corner cases, then it would work reasonably well. One thing I really like about this vacuum though is the glass surface. You can polish it and it'll be nice and shiny on top. Overall, I think it's an entry-level robotic vacuum. It has this Lidar thing, self-emptying. If you know how to use this thing, it's gonna be in a very well-defined restricted area, and you don't mind your carpet getting a little moist because it's going to drag the mop all over it. It can be a very cost-effective and reasonable option. If you guys are interested in this robotic vacuum, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.